Good morning, students. Welcome to physics online class. In today's class, we will discuss the topic differentiation. I have discussed with you the basic idea for differentiation, that what is differentiation and where we will use it. In today's video, again we will start from the starting, that what is differentiation and how we will use it. Students, it's a very important topic. You have to deal with differentiation throughout your course for +1 and +2 physics class. So try to understand it carefully. Differentiation. In physics, wherever we define change in any quantity, that change will be shown by two symbols. First one is this triangle like symbol named as delta, and the second one is small d. So where we use both these symbols represent change in a physical quantity. What do you mean by physical quantity here? Any term, any parameter which is measured in physics is known as physical quantity. जैसा कि आपने पढ़ा है मैथमेटिक्स में कि दो तरह की वैल्यूज होती हैं हमारे पास. फर्स्ट वन इज कांस्टेंट and second one is known as variable. Wherever you have to define an equation, you will deal with these two things. कांस्टेंट एक ऐसी क्वांटिटी जो टाइम के साथ चेंज नहीं होती है, दैट हैज ए फिक्स्ड वैल्यू, इज नोन एज कांस्टेंट. एंड वेरिएबल मींस एक ऐसी क्वांटिटी जिसकी वैल्यू चेंज हो सकती है, आप उसे अज्यूम कर सकते हैं, कोई भी वैल्यू हो सकती है, दैट इज नोन एज वेरिएबल. सो इन फिजिक्स ऑल द वेरिएबल क्वांटिटीज आर नेम्ड एज फिजिकल क्वांटिटीज. और वो क्वांटिटीज किस तरह से बदलती हैं, किस तरह से चेंज शो करती है, वी विल डील विद दैट चेंज इन टू टर्म्स. फर्स्ट वन इज डेल्टा एंड सेकंड वन इज small d. Let me clear you the difference between these two delta. Delta is used where the change is large. हम डेल्टा सिंबल का यूज वहां करते हैं जहां आपकी वेरिएबल क्वांटिटी और फिजिकल क्वांटिटी में चेंज बहुत बड़ा हो. यू कैन क्लियरली नोटिस दैट चेंज. एंड दिस सिंबल स्मॉल d is used where the change is small. जहां आपकी वेरिएबल क्वांटिटी में चेंज बहुत ही कम आता है, वहां हम स्मॉल d के सिंबल को यूज करते हैं. हाउ वी विल राइट दीज टू टाइप्स ऑफ चेंज. सपोज आई हैव ए वेरिएबल x, so I will write delta x. Delta x means change in x. If I write dx, we will read it like this: delta x dx. Dx means change in x. And now what's the difference between these two? This symbol represents the change in x is large. We can clearly observe the change. And this symbol represents change in x is small. The change is very much small, that cannot be measured at a time, or instantly you can't say that this one is the difference, the value is very small. If we will take example, then if any quantity varies, suppose x varies from x is equals to 1 to x equals to 2. So the change is 1 unit. That will be clearly noticed and also considerable. If the value of x is like this, x is from 0.000001 to x is equals to 0.01 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So like this way, the values are very small, and also when we subtract these two values to find out the change will also comes out very small. In that case, we will use this symbol dx, and in this case where the change is large, we will use delta x. Now we will discuss how we can use this symbol dx. You can name the variable quantity as any of the alphabet. Suppose you are naming it as x, so it will be dx. If you will name it like dy, it will be like this: dz, dt, dA, ds, like this. You will write it in this way. Dx means change in x. Dy means change in y. Dz means change in z. Similarly, dt means change in t, change in a, change in s. You can write any of the variable name, and if you will write small d in front of that variable, that means change in that variable, and the change must be very small. Now second thing, that wherever we will use two variables together at a time, suppose I'll write it like this: dy by dx. As we know, dy means change in y, dx means change in x, and when we divide these two quantities, that represents change in y with respect to change in x. We will read it like this: change in y with respect to change in x. This is read as dy by dx, and it represents change. We can also name it as derivative of y with respect to x, and such function is known as differentiation. इस तरह के फंक्शन को हम डिफरेंशिएशन बोलते हैं. आप इसे डेरिवेटिव भी रीड कर सकते हैं. You can read it like this: change in y with respect to change in x. And one more thing, if you will write this as dy by dt, and here the symbol t represents time. Any physical quantity varying with respect to time represents rate of change of y with respect to time. So wherever in the denominator you will use t and the symbol t represents time, then dy by dt means rate of change of y with respect to time. If you will write here x, that means rate of change of x with respect to time. If you will write here dz by dt, then that means rate of change of z with respect to time. You have studied that v is the symbol for velocity, and if we will write dv by dt, that means rate of change of velocity with respect to time. And what we call to this rate of change, we have studied that this is named as acceleration. If I write it like this: ds by dt, what does it represent? It represents change in s with respect to time, and if the symbol s represents distance or displacement, then rate of change of displacement with respect to time is known as velocity. So in this way we will use this differentiation in our physics. Again, I am repeating that if dy by dx is written, that means change in y with respect to change in x. If it is written like this, dy by dt, that means rate of change of y with respect to time. Now we will discuss how we will use these functions, differentiation, or how we can solve questions related to differentiation. Very firstly, I'll start from a simple example. Suppose the value of x is 5 and I have to find out derivative of x with respect to time. Then how I will write it? I will write it dx by dt. That means change in x with respect to time. We will write here the value of x, that is 5. But as we know, 5 is a constant, 5 is a number. So it doesn't change its value with respect to time. टाइम के साथ 5 की वैल्यू में कोई भी चेंज नहीं आएगा, सो इट विल बी 0. दैट मीन्स डेरिवेटिव ऑफ ए कांस्टेंट क्वांटिटी विद रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम इज 0. वी हैव कंक्लूडेड दैट डेरिवेटिव ऑफ ए कांस्टेंट क्वांटिटी with respect to time is 0. That's the most important result, and you have to keep in mind that कोई भी constant quantity time के साथ change नहीं होती. So always the derivative of a constant quantity will comes out 0. Suppose I have a variable value of x here, then how I will solve it? Suppose I'll write it as that x is a variable. The value of x can be changed according to the situation. आप x की कोई भी value मान सकते हैं, वो time के साथ change होती है. Then how we will write? We will write dx by dt. And that will represent change or derivative with respect to time. Suppose when the time is t1, the value of x is x1. When the time is t2, then the value of x is x2. That shows the value of x changes with respect to time. So how we will write dx by dt? We will write change. How much change? x2 minus x1. In how much time? It is t2 minus t1. That will be change in x with respect to time. And the change value, जो भी आपके पास difference आएगा, that will decide whether it is delta or d. If the change is large, we will write here delta word, and if the change is small, we will write here small d. Now, if the value is given in the form of a function or like a polynomial, suppose you are given with a polynomial p x. And its value is like this, x square. Let this polynomial is written as y, and we have to find out derivative of y with respect to x. Then how we will write it? We will write dy by dx is equals to derivative of y with respect to x. Now put the value of y, that is x square, and the rule of differentiation is very much simple. What we have to do, this is the power of x, we have to write the power ahead and then write the variable, decrease its one power, and then derivative of x with respect to x. This is the way to solve differentiation. Again I am telling, write the power first. सबसे पहले पावर लिखेंगे, उसके बाद वेरिएबल की एक पावर को डिक्रीज करके लिखेंगे, and then we will write dx by dx as we have to do differentiation with respect to x. It will cancel out and give result 1, that will be 2x. This is our answer. The derivative of y with respect to x will be 2x. Suppose the value is like this. This is x cube. Then how we will solve it? Again we will do the same procedure. We will write the value of y here. Then firstly we will write its power, and then we decrease 1 from its power and write it like this, dx by dx. That will always comes out 1. But only in case when y is a function of x. Students, keep in mind, only when y is written in the form of x, then we will write here dx by dx, and this value comes out equals to 1. So what will be the answer? The answer will be 3x square, and when we will multiply it by 1, that will be 3x square. I hope you have cleared with differentiation, how we will do differentiation. For every variable you have to follow the same procedure. Suppose I'll write the value of y as 2x cube. Then how we will solve its differentiation? Derivative of y with respect to x means d by dx. This is the symbol for derivative, and we will write here the value of y. And how we will solve? Here it is 2. Then for x, we will write its power first, and then we will decrease its power by 1, and then write dx by dx. So what will be the answer? 3 2 ja 6 and x raised to the power 2. This will comes out 1. So the answer is 6x square. In the same way, if the y is written in the form of a polynomial, and how we can write? Suppose the y is written as like this, 2x cube plus 4x square. Then how we will solve its differentiation? We will write dy by dx as, firstly we will do differentiation of this first term, then we will do differentiation of second part, and then if plus is given here, we will write here plus. If minus is given here, we will write here minus. Means जब भी आपको एक polynomial, bigger polynomial मिले, तो आप उसको separately by part solve करेंगे. Firstly we will solve first part, then second part, and whatever sign is given here out of plus and minus, we will write as it is plus and minus. So how we will solve it? 2, we will write the power first 3, and then decrease its power by 1. As we have know the function is of x, So here dx by dx will come. So we will write it 1. Then plus or minus 4 power of x, and then we will decrease its power by 1. So it will be 3 2 ja 6 x raised to the power 2 plus minus 4 2 ja 8 and x raised to the power 1. So our answer will comes out like this. This is the derivative of y with respect to x. और जितनी भी टर्म्स आपको गिवन हो y के लिए, सपोज इट विल बी गिवन लाइक दिस 2x plus 3, then we will follow the same procedure. Firstly we will solve for this, then for this, then for 2x. What will be the answer? It will comes out 2, and for 3, as we know 3 is a constant quantity, so its differentiation will comes out 0, and our answer will become this. So in this way we will solve differentiation, and that's the easiest way to solve a differentiation, and it is very helpful. Wherever the changes are small, we can find out our answer very easily if we know how to perform the differentiation. Suppose I'll write here one example for negative power also. Suppose the value is 2 by x square. How I will solve the differentiation for this? It is dy by dx. Then put the value of y here. It is 2 by x square. I can write it like this, x raised to the power minus 2. Then again we will follow the same procedure. Firstly I will write 2, then this power, that is minus 2, and then we will subtract 1. Whatever be the sign, आपकी पावर प्लस है या माइनस है, we have to subtract 1, and then we will write dx by dx. So it will comes out 2 2 ja 4 with minus sign. Here comes out minus 2 minus 1 becomes minus 3. Dx by dx will cancel out and result into 1. So we can write our answer as minus 4 by x cube. So in this way we will solve for the negative power also in the same way. But students, keep in mind, if the value of y is given as like this, y is 1 by x, or I can write it like this, x minus 1. What we will do? We will do dy by dx is equals to d by dx of x raised to the power minus 1. Firstly we will write minus 1, then we will decrease the power by 1, and then again dx by dx. So it will cancel out and we are left with minus 1 x raised to the power minus 2. We have to add these two values and our answer will comes out minus 1 by x square. Can we solve it in this way, that our answer will comes out like this? Yes, that's the way to solve the differentiation. Whatever the power will be given, you have to solve it like this. Suppose I'll give you the power of x in fraction. These are the simplest examples. Suppose I'll write y is equals to under root x. Then how we will solve the differentiation? Under root x means the power of x is 1 by 2. And then differentiation dy by dx is d by dx x raised to the power 1 by 2. What we will do? Firstly, we will write the power. Then we will subtract 1 from the given power. And then dx by dx. So it will comes out 1 by 2 x raised to the power. Half minus 1, it will be comes out minus half. And this will result into 1. So what we will write? We will write 1 by 2 x raised to the power minus 1 by 2. I can write it like this. So our answer will be 1 by 2 under root x. So in this way we have learned how to solve differentiation. Today I'll give an assignment for such kind of numericals. You have to perform it in your fair notebook, and if you find any doubt you can ask in the comment section. Thank you.